Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some folks are concerned the big beautiful bill could negatively impact mental health for Americans. And the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources are increasing patrols on waterways throughout the upcoming holiday.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Thursday, July 3rd at 6:28 this morning. And Eric, it's been a foggy start, especially in Hazard today.
Right, and we will continue to see that as we go throughout the next hour or two. It will let up, though, as we go to about the 10 o'clock time frame. But as you head out the door this morning, allow yourself some extra time to get from point A to point B. Yesterday, though, was not bad. Made it to 83 degrees. It was comfortable out there. Morning start of 67, 85, and 66 is where we should be for this time of year. Had no rain yesterday. We're sitting well above normal already for the month and way above normal for the year. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s, upper 60s near Monticello, otherwise mid-60s in Somerset, as well as Hazard 64 and Whitesburg 66. In Pikeville, again, visibility is reduced. Please allow yourself a few extra minutes to get to your destination. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Highs today in the mid-80s. Will stay mostly sunny. Sunglasses will be your friend as you head out the door. I'll have your complete first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes, but right now it is 6:29. We'll toss it back to Amelia.
West Virginia State Police are investigating after a body was found in Wayne County. Troopers say they received that call a little after noon yesterday. They say they found a man's body in water near Route 37. The body has not been identified and will be sent to the examiner's office for an autopsy. 2 people are dead after a crash in Tennessee. Police say someone crashed their car into a nursing home bus in Morgan County yesterday morning. It happened on Knoxville Highway between Oliver Springs and Coalfield. The district attorney says the area where this happened is a very narrow road, and people were calling in saying the driver of that car was crossing into the median.
There were other drivers that had called in saying this person was about to run other people off the road crossing the center line, and so that information had reached dispatch, but it was not in time for law enforcement to get there in time to stop this individual driver.
He says they will do an autopsy on the at-fault driver to see if they had any alcohol or drugs in their system. The Pike County man was indicted following another man's overdose death. Jimmy Gage Adkins was indicted for second-degree manslaughter. The indictment says Adkins caused the death of Christopher Chivers by knowingly distributing fentanyl or a derivative of the drug to another person without the act of pay or services. The indictment says this incident happened back in March. A Clay County man is facing a host of charges after he was arrested by police in Wayne County. It happened when police tried to pull over Kevin Adams of Manchester Tuesday. They say he nearly hit a vehicle at one point during the police chase. After he was arrested, Adams told police he had taken a truck that had belonged to his girlfriend and that she had no knowledge about it. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. A Jackson County woman faces charges after police say she tried to resist being arrested. It happened last month when police arrived on scene. They say Jessica Strong was twitchy in her movements and told them that she'd been smoking crack cocaine. Police say they tased Strong on a couple of occasions before she was arrested. She was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, among others. Her arraignment is scheduled for Monday. A man faces charges after police say he punched someone in the face. Deputies with the Wayne County, Kentucky Sheriff's Office say it happened at a convenience store Tuesday. When the victim had gone into the store, he told Stephen Smith not to be on his property and to stop harassing him. Police say Smith then punched the victim in the jaw, knocking him to the ground. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. The Kentucky Hospital Association and 35 hospitals in the state of Kentucky are fighting against the Senate version of the big beautiful bill. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to officials who sent a letter to the U.S. House of Representatives on behalf of Kentucky's hospitals and health systems.
The Kentucky Hospital Association, along with 35 hospitals throughout Kentucky, are standing up to the Senate's version of the big beautiful bill. A bill officials say will impact every Kentuckian and Kentucky hospitals.
When it affects that many people, enables us all as hospital systems, even though we're competitors, to come together to say, hey, this is bad for the community.
The letter mentioned 1/3 of Kentucky citizens rely on the Medicaid program, covering 50% of children, seniors, and working families.
So as you're talking about cutting Medicare and Medicaid payments, you're talking about cutting our patient population. To say this is affecting our people, this is affecting our people in our community, it's affecting our patients, it's affecting our employees, it's affecting us. It's something we have to stand up for, it's something we definitely believe in.
A population of patients and employees that officials say could be at risk.
Unfortunately, the base Medicaid payments are very inadequate. They pay below what it costs us to pay our nurses and our staff and to buy supplies and to run the hospital. So we have been able to access some additional higher payments that are helping keep our hospitals open. And the Senate bill would eliminate that and would tie us to a very much lower rate.
Potential cuts of services offered and hospitals closing throughout the state.
It's starting to be reported in other states that hospitals are laying off staff. Hospitals are looking at the services they offer and whether they can continue to offer them, because there's a number of services that our hospitals provide that, standing by themselves, they don't cover the cost.
Using their voices for their patients and staff in hopes the House's version of the big beautiful bill is reconsidered. In Perry County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
Health officials say they hope House members take more time to consider the impacts the bill will make on Kentuckians and to come to a solution closer to the House version of the bill. Well, some are concerned the big beautiful bill could negatively impact mental health care access for millions. Nurse practitioners at primary care centers of eastern Kentucky are advocating for folks' mental health. They say it's normal to be concerned about the political climate, but help is just a step away.
There's a lot of mental health that's not treated. So if you feel like you're having any symptoms, not feeling your normal self, I mean, it's good to come in and just talk to one of us. Doesn't mean we got to do medication. We can just talk about it and see what's going on.
She says if you find yourself worrying, it might be good to take a break from scrolling on your phone. In a release from the governor's office, 4 Kentucky counties were recognized for being in the America's Best Counties rankings. Muhlenberg County came in 3rd place, while Scott County was 6th. Shelby County was listed as 8th best, and Mason County came in 15th. Kentucky had more counties represented in the top 20 per capita category than any other state. Governor Andy Beshear has appointed a new communications director. According to the Lexington Herald-Leader, Scotty Ellis was picked to be the new director. Ellis is replacing Crystal Staley, who's stepping down from the position after being in it for more than 5 years. In a statement, the governor says he was grateful for Crystal's service and is wishing her the best in her next chapter. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was back in Laurel County yesterday checking on tornado recovery efforts. An EF4 tornado killed 17 people in Laurel County on May 16th. Some are now living in campers at Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park after their homes were destroyed.
We probably had the tallest tree in our subdivision right next to our house. And fortunately, it fell toward the shed, not the house, or we probably would not be here with you.
The lieutenant governor says she was happy to see that 95% of the debris in Laurel County has been cleaned up. After street flooding Tuesday, the city of Huntington is working to clean up damage. The Water Quality Board says all the pumps at the underpasses were working, but with the amount of rain Huntington saw, it overwhelmed the system. The board says the pump stations that were installed in 2021 at the 8th and 10th streets are designed to pump out 3.5 inches of rainfall over a 24-hour period.
If you put that into perspective, we received almost, more than a quarter of that just in a 30-minute period. And so, once the rain stopped, those pumps were able to catch up, and those underpasses did drain fairly quickly.
The city of Huntington also tells us they have a project in the works to separate the combined drainage system at 5th and 3rd Avenues, which should help with those flooded areas. AAA estimates 72 million people will travel during the 4th of July holiday nationwide. In Kentucky, that's 820,000 people from June 28th through July 6th. Lori Weaver-Hawkins with AAA says 90% of people traveling in the Commonwealth will be in their cars, creating busy highways and lots of people on the roads.
Try to get on the road as early as you can in the morning, because once you get to be about the midday and into the afternoon and early evening, traffic is really going to pick up and it's going to be even more congested.
She says to make sure your vehicle has been checked out before hitting the road so you can enjoy your Independence Day fun without worrying about getting stranded on the side of the road. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources are increasing patrols on waterways throughout the 4th of July holiday as part of their Operation Dry Water initiative, where game wardens say they'll have more awareness and enforcement to educate the public on why it's dangerous to boat under the influence. Captain Jason Sloan says the increases in patrols make it safer for folks while they enjoy their holiday weekend.
The weekend of July 4th, 5th, and 6th, across the nation, all law enforcement agencies that are required to work boating enforcement have enhanced enforcement, and we look for serious violations such as boating under the influence and safety violations.
Last year, law enforcement made 584 boating under the influence arrests, plus more than 40,000 citations for safety violations throughout the country. Well, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says an estimated 14,000 people were injured in firework-related activity last year. Here in the Bluegrass, leaders with UK Healthcare say the number of people coming through the hospital doors for a firework treatment is increasing. Casey Prather is the Woodford County Public Health Director. She says many firework injuries can be prevented just by reading the instructions.
These fireworks, even just sparklers, can burn at 2,000 degrees. And so I know that's something that we typically give to our kiddos to handle.
Officials say if you have a firework that's a dud, don't try to relight that firework. She says there's a reason it didn't go off when it was lit the first time. While those fireworks can be fascinating for us as people, those loud noises can often be stressful for your pets. Members with the Kentucky Veterinary Clinic talked about that yesterday. They say holding your pet when fireworks go off can be good for mitigating stress. It's also very important to keep pets inside or at least leashed when fireworks go off.
If you are walking more in the evening, that's had a lot of time for, especially on a sunny day like today, for the pavement to kind of get hot. So just being mindful that pets' paws can definitely get too hot on the pavement. Walking them in grassier areas or shady areas would be preferred.
Veterinarian Carrie Wynn says clinics can also prescribe medications for pets that are especially stressed out.
As you head out the door today, we'll see temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s by the 9 o'clock hour. We'll see mainly sunny skies as we go throughout the day. Clear skies for tonight. Look at that 9 o'clock temperature, upper 70s and low 80s. We'll make it to 86 for today in Hazard, as well as Jackson. Pikeville will go to 89. 90 from Somerset to Manchester, over towards Harlan, down towards Middlesboro. For tonight, overnight lows in the low to mid 60s. Talk about a beautiful evening nonetheless. 4th of July forecast. It looks pretty darn nice as well, with plenty of sunshine and highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. I'll have that forecast, and then we'll go beyond the 7-day coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Amelia.
Thanks, Eric. At 6:41, and we've got more mountain news on the way.